Hello, I'm Michael Wiederman, and welcome to Mindful Professional Development. I'd like to spend a few minutes today sharing with you something that I find very valuable from a particular book. It has to do with the 4 types of trust at work, and this is interpersonal trust with other people. And it comes from this book, The Thin Book of Trust, the 2nd edition, and it's a thin book, an easy read, but very powerful, and lots of good tools and perspectives. So I highly recommend it. I don't have any connection to the author or the book other than being a fan and using it myself. But the author points to 4 different aspects or domains or types of trust in the workplace. And again, I find this so useful. Now, the first one he talks about is care. And that is, do I believe or feel like you have my best interest at heart, or that we share the same interest about the mission of the organization or whatever it is that we're working on. So in other words, does it feel like we're both coming at this from the same motives or same set of motives? Are we on the same page with that? And I put an asterisk there because, as the author points out, and I agree, that if you have this kind of trust with somebody, then this is the key, the core, and other kinds of things that happen that might help, might lead us to feel a little bit of mistrust are more easily fixed or gotten over than if we don't have this basic core sense of care that we share, or priorities or values, that it's going to be more difficult to overcome other kinds of violations of trust. But a second type of trust he refers to as sincerity. Does it feel like I can trust you because you seem to be honest? You seem to be congruent. Your actions back up your words. You do what you say. You walk the walk. Does it seem like you're consistent, that what I hear you tell other people or what other people tell me that you've said seems to line up with what you say to me? So you can imagine different ways that this level of this type of trust gets violated when we see inconsistencies or hear about them, whether they're true or not, because all of this, of course, is our perspective, our subjective experience. And so if we hear through the grapevine that something was inconsistent, it's going to erode this level of sincerity that we feel. A third type of trust the author refers to as reliability. Does it feel like you keep your commitments, that when you say you're going to do something, you actually follow through and are able to do it? And so again, can I trust you that your words are going to turn into actions, or that your responsibilities are going to get carried out? And then the last type of trust, the fourth type, the author refers to as competence. Your heart might be in the right place. You might really want to keep your commitments and be reliable. But do you have what it takes to actually pull it off, to actually do what you need to do? So that could be, do you have the resources? Do you have the intelligence? Do you have the time? Do you have whatever it is, so that you actually will follow through on what it is that you said you would do? So again, I find this so useful because it helps me parse out that when I'm feeling mistrustful towards somebody with whom I work, what is going on? If I just keep it at the level of, I don't trust you, it can be difficult to communicate what needs to happen, or help the other person understand what has happened that has led to those feelings. But this gives me a more precise or refined way of thinking about trust, and what types of trust I have with this person and to what degree, and maybe what types need some work. And especially then if the other person mistrusts me in some way, to reflect on where am I potentially dropping the ball, and asking that person, if they're not familiar with this framework, about these 4 areas, and how I might come across to them, or how they assess me in each of these 4 areas. Well, I thank you for your time and attention, and I hope to hear from you soon.